guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Voice No. If you're new here, you are welcome. A very warm welcome to you. If you're old and you've been here before and you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do so and subscribe. And if you're new, please subscribe on the button below, just so you can get some updates on women's rugby and every other thing that you might want to see on my YouTube channel. So basically a bit of everything. So as we touch base and we continue with this episodes of Africa Cup coming up on the 7th to the 14th of June in Madagascar, in Antananarivo, we are going to be looking at the host team. This team has just been playing rugby, okay? They come from a country that is not so broad with the sport, but the support is immaculate. These people go all out for their sports. And just looking at the other Africa Cup tournaments that have been held in Madagascar, they have just been showing up and showing off, okay? Just to see that happening in Madagascar is really heartwarming. But looking at somewhere like South Africa, where rugby is broad and the depth is just, Madagascar has just been setting the bar for all these other countries that host Africa Cup, and they've just been doing that. And I just want to say that this is just one of the teams that have been doing great in Africa Cup. Looking at their standings, they are second on the log, and that is from last year's Africa Cup, and their points. So they're second on the log, and they're playing in WXV3, and most of their players come from sevens. And this is also because they do not have much depth in their rugby, and there isn't much going on in their country in terms of women's rugby. Unlike South Africa and your Kenya that actually has, and Uganda as well, just a bit. They have, these little tournaments that they hold, and they have leagues and, all that. It's just something that they do not have much going on. They do have, but it's not that big of a deal when it comes to sports in their country. Madagascar, they will face Kenya first. It's going to be a clash between the two. They have a little rivalry going on between them, because Madagascar is a little bit spicy when they're playing at home, and their fans just pull through for them, and they just give them that courage to go on. Before we go any further, last week I did mention that Kenya and Madagascar will be playing the second game after South Africa and Uganda. So they will be playing at 5 p.m. South African time, and we will watch that game, okay? Because we want to see and compare between the teams and just, know who's where and who's what in this tournament. It's a different year and potentially different teams. So we just want to be able to see. We just want to be able to see what this tournament is bringing, okay? And last time we looked at South Africa and just how their game plan is structured and just how they play in general. They're all about physicality, they're all about strength, power, speed. They basically have all in one, and we just want to see how Madagascar upholds their team spirit and just what they bring as a team. So we are going to just have a look at some of the greatest clips and just some of the videos that shows how they play as a team. And yeah, basically that. So buckle up. as we take this turn to look at these videos. Just look at this. Yeah, the kicking game is not so great. You know, you want to try and give the team an opportunity to be able to contest. But yeah, their defense is pretty good, and they have good hands. They support play as well, but they don't really have much structure going on. You can see that they're just trying to get the ball to just play. You know, playing against a team like South Africa is a little bit harder than that. It's not that easy to get away with stuff like that. I mean, Samoa has played against South Africa before, and between the two, it was a clash, and South Africa did end up winning. Both teams are very physical. But looking at this right here, Madagascar is just picking and going, and you don't want to see that. You don't want to see that, okay? South Africa will steal that ball in seconds. Yeah, they have pretty good hands, and look at that. Their try is just easy hands into space, and they score a try. Good celebration, because I mean, it's not that easy to get through. So just look at this, look at how they are moving the ball and just keeping it alive. Showing resilience, and you're looking at players that are involved with sevens as well. Great speed, good support, and you know, just skills. I can see how she was resilient with her defender trying to get her down, and she just kept her legs pumping, and that pick and go thing helped them there, because I mean, easy try. I mean, Madagascar and Kenya are going to face each other, and this clip right here is just an indication to show how they actually going to execute their game plan. They keep the ball alive, they will offload, and they will do pick and goes, and it's just crazy. Look at that step, that wing pumping her legs into the try line. Super easy. Keeping the ball alive, playing it through the hands, and just opening up gaps for the outside backs to actually go and score. How easy is that? This is going to be the second game of the day on the 7th. Kenya faces Uganda. Are they going to have such plays again? You know, the scrums are pretty good, and it's just so easy for them to manipulate them in that regard. But Kenya is so strong, and they have strong runners both backline and forwards. So what are we going to see there? It's just one of those things that we are excited to see in this tournament. We want to see all that. We want to see them running through people, handing people off, but also Madagascar. We want to see those offloads. We want to see them keeping the ball alive and getting people tired, you know. And carrying on, this is still the game against Madagascar, and I mean Kenya and Madagascar playing against each other, and this is where, I mean, Kenya destroyed Madagascar, but Madagascar has these runners. This lady is so phenomenal. She will run. One thing she will do is run. She's very strong in that area, and they really do believe in her talent in sevens as well. She will show up, and we've just seen her, you know, passing through defense so easily and effortlessly. So just seeing her doing that is just one of the things that we're looking forward to seeing in this tournament as well. I mean, Madagascar has such talented players, but you know, when we look at their structure compared to teams like Kenya and South Africa, as well as Uganda has organization within their structures, and it's a little bit more easier to see what is going on. But with Madagascar, you know, it's all about freestyle playing and just keeping the ball alive and just playing what we see. There isn't really much of a reset, and we go back to, you know, factory settings where we can actually see them have their pods and their backline aligned to, you know, get a play going on. But hopefully this year we get to see something totally different to what we've seen over the couple of years, and through the Africa Cup tournament. I really hope that we get to see some of the best, you know, layouts with regards to their structures, and just see how these girls can actually penetrate through defense with their structures. I mean, they can do that without their structures. They run through, they do their offloads, but it's so much easier when you get to see how structured, and you get to win games with structures. Hey, but these ladies have hosted Africa Cup in such a phenomenal way, and we've seen how people came out to support women's rugby in Madagascar. I mean, just look at this clip. Look at how people come out to support women's rugby. Over 15,000 people watching women's rugby in Madagascar. Such a small nation in rugby. Look at how they are running in their kit and just looking so good, trying to impress the home crowd. It's really good to see all these teams, preparing for their games, and, Madagascans pull through. I don't know if that's how we call them, but yeah, the Marquis showed up, and, it was really nice to see how women's rugby is supported in this country, and how much they respect women's rugby, not just women's rugby, but rugby or sports in general in their country. They don't have the best facilities, they don't have much, but they're able to just pull that out of nothing. And just seeing that shows how dedicated they are to supporting their sports people, and just being behind them, and just supporting all these other countries as well, because I mean, they're there to watch this whole tournament going on, and just showing how they can actually pull through with their haka. It's really nice to see how passionate they are just doing that haka, and the people in the stands just excited to see that. It's really nice. We want to see that again. We want to see them doing the haka. It's amazing. Yeah, but just how great it is to see people coming out to watch women's rugby. We want to see that again this year. Obviously, we're going to see that. I trust Madagascans to pull through with these tournaments, singing and, watching all these people playing drums and dancing. It's just a vibe going on there. People going in and out, celebrating. I mean, look at that. That's a lot of people watching women's rugby. We don't really get that often. I mean, South Africa hosted WXV, and the most we could get was not even close to 10,000. So that's just something that I think all these other countries should, have a look at, because I mean, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people watching women's rugby, guys. So if you want to see this, you need to share this video with people, okay? So people can see what other countries are doing out there, and then we can actually, advocate for women's rugby and just send the word out so that people can know what's going on, and they can actually come out to watch women's rugby. Yeah, the people came out and they showed off. Although, it was a pretty tough one for them. It was a pretty tough run for them against South Africa. But what else if your people are there to support you? Just hugs after the games and showing love, that sportsmanship. It's just really nice to see. We want to see that again, spirits, and we want to see people, showing respect to each other. And yeah, this is going to be such an amazing tournament to watch. People should definitely tune in. People should watch women's rugby. South Africa took it last year. They were very excited, and I mean the previous year, and this was their qualification for the World Cup as well as WXV second division. I mean, this is just all it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be stunned with the level of rugby that there is in Africa. These are the top 4 teams that are going to be participating, and yeah, we just need to be there to support, watch wherever we are, comment on the live videos, and just show support to our women playing out there. Do not forget that another video is coming where we are going to be showing you other teams and just how they go about their structures, their place, and all that. I will be a girl, I'll show you that, okay? Do not worry. But going about this day, we are done with this video today, and we're done with the content that I had brought for you. So stay tuned if you want to see more. Comment on the players that you would like me to highlight and show you on the next video. I will definitely do so, and I will be able to explain how it is to be a rugby player, a women's rugby player at that, in Africa. But we don't only do that, we do that for all players who are in this sport all over the world. So if you want to see more, just make sure that you comment on the section below, like and share with your friends, so that this page can grow, okay? We can blow up and people can actually know about women's rugby. From me, your girl, Voice, I'm out. Peace out.